Syrian regime forces seized a famed Crusader fort on Thursday, killing dozens of rebels in the surrounding area and sending scores fleeing across the nearby Lebanese border. Well, Syrian troops have now closed that border crossing with Lebanon amid continued clashes with rebels in the area. i24News correspondent Danny Swibel has the story.
Regime forces can be seen on top of one of the castle's towers, raising the flag of the Syrian government. Syrian regime forces had entered the renowned Crusader castle after deadly fighting with rebels in the nearby village of Al-Hassun. The troops reportedly killed over 40 rebels as they fled, with more than 45 civilians believed to have been wounded in the shelling and taken for treatment in hospitals in several areas of northern Lebanon. The offensive in the Croc des Chevaliers area is one of two major operations by the Syrian army near the border with Lebanon aimed at severing rebel supply routes. The mainly Sunni Muslim area of northern Lebanon, whose residents are largely sympathetic to the rebels fighting to overthrow Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, has come under frequent cross-border shelling by his forces. Dominated by Damascus for 30 years until 2005, Lebanon is deeply divided over the conflict in neighboring Syria. Shiite Hezbollah and its allies back Assad, while the Sunni-led opposition supports the revolt. Fighting near the castle has stopped for now, but the larger conflict around it continues. History is always written by the winners. The latest battle goes to the regime.
Hundreds of students remained barricaded in Taiwan's legislature for the third day today in protest of the ruling party's push for a trade pact with China. Well, here's more from our own news desk.
Hundreds of protesters in Taiwan who oppose a trade agreement with China are calling for President Ma Ying-jeou to listen to their demands, setting a deadline for Ma to respond by Friday at noon. They fear a new pact between Taiwan and China gives the mainland too much economic influence and access to opportunities, and say the preliminary review of the deal by the country's ruling party should be dismissed. Demonstrators took control of the legislative chamber earlier this week and withstood security forces' attempts to oust them.
I don't think occupying the legislature is what we want to do. Nobody wants to stand here today, including police, students, and all the staff who work here. We don't want to be here. If they had properly handled this issue, we wouldn't need to be here at all. And we're still waiting. But nobody has yet come out to explain to us.
The country's opposition party, the Democratic Progressive Party, promised to protect Taiwan's economy from excessive Chinese influence, saying they would vote against it. But the party does not have the numbers to actually block the proposed deal.
In France today, the daredevil Alain Robert, also known as the French Spider-Man, is at it again. Scaling massive buildings with bare hands and no ropes or safety equipment, his latest adventure is the 186-meter-tall Total Tower in La Défense, just outside Paris. The authorities do not normally give him permission for such dangerous exploits. He's been arrested many times in various countries by law enforcement officials waiting for him at the end of his climb. Well, that's all for now. Join us for more news updates in just 20 minutes, and also check out our website. It's i24news.tv. Thank you for watching.